All right. Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you see me? Let me know.
When you shop at Wayfair, you don't have to...
Let me know if you can hear and see me. Oh my gosh, here's Mr. Clem. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Welcome to Kitten Class with Kitten Lady. I'm going to make sure that everybody can see me. All right, I see all of your comments coming in. So if you guys leave a comment, I'll be able to see your comment and hopefully can respond to some of you. So welcome everybody. My name is Hannah and I am a kitten rescuer and I'm also an author. I have 2 books. One is called Tiny But Mighty, and that is a guide to saving little kittens. And then I also have a children's book called Kitten Lady's Big Book of Little Kittens. And I will be reading from this book for you guys today. I want to introduce you to all of my kitten friends. I have a bunch of kitten friends with me today. Oh my gosh. So here are a couple of my little kittens. So this is Debbie. Debbie is a little calico kitten and she's 6 weeks old. Over here we have Nigel, and Nigel is playing currently with one of his new toys. Very exciting. And here we have Chris. Chris is another very fluffy kitten. He's a brown and white tabby with very fluffy hair. And I don't want to wake him up. Shh. But Jimmy is asleep in here. So Jimmy will join us when he wakes up from his nap. Over there we have Clem. He's the little orange kitten. He's drinking some water right now. But I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see all of my foster kittens and get to learn a little bit about why fostering is so cool. So before we get started, I just want to say if you have a comment, you can write it into the comment chat or you can ask an adult to do it for you. So let's see if that's working. Can everybody tell me, if you have a cat at home, what is your cat's name? Just type your cat's name in or have an adult type your cat's name. And I'm gonna take a look and make sure that everybody's in there. Wow, we've got more than 1,000 people in here watching the little kittens. So, all right, I see everybody's comments. So you and I are connected. Even though we're not in the same room, we are still in the same community and we can all talk to each other and enjoy learning about these little kittens today. Okay, so I am fostering these little kittens, which means that they're not my cats. They're gonna go to another home, but they just needed a safe place to go for a couple of weeks while they grow big and strong. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in my book, which is Kitten Lady's Big Book of Little Kittens. I'm so excited to show you guys the wonderful world of kitten fostering, and I am going to put the book on the screen so that you guys can follow along and you can practice reading. I'm going to be reading this book with permission from my publisher, Simon & Schuster. So thank you to my publisher for letting us do this fun book reading today. Okay, so let's begin. This is Kitten Lady's Big Book of Little Kittens. And if you have it at home, you can follow along too. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm an animal advocate and kitten rescuer. My life is dedicated to protecting the tiniest and most vulnerable felines, baby kittens. Over the years, I've saved hundreds of little lives. I know what you're thinking. Does that mean you have hundreds of cats? No way! The kittens I rescue are all foster kittens. Fostering is when you give temporary care to a homeless animal. Once the kittens are healthy and old enough, they go to a permanent home with a loving adopter, and then my house is empty, so I can save even more kittens. It's like a revolving door of tiny tigers. So on the left, you can see the before picture. That's a really tiny kitten, and that kitten's name is Bee. Bee grew up big and strong, and then on the right, you can see her after picture with her nice little crown. That's her right before she got adopted. Most of the time, I rescue orphan kittens who have been separated from their mothers. Since kittens rely completely on their mothers for warmth, food, and protection, if they're found all alone, they need special help from humans. When kittens don't have a mama, foster parents like me step in and provide the care that they need. Fostering is the coolest. And what's this little guy saying down there? Can anybody say that? If you're at home, you can call it out as loud as you want. Roar! I love that little picture. Oh, and look who came to join us. Jimmy woke up from his nap. Let's have Jimmy say hi really fast. Hi, Jimmy. Okay. Turn the page. I rescue kittens from some of the most unexpected places. I've saved them from underneath houses, on the side of the highway, and even in compost bins and trash cans. Some are only hours old. The one thing they have in common is that they almost always come from outside, where they are often born to community cats who roam freely in the neighborhood. So here's a couple of my kittens that I've rescued. Pigeon was found under a dumpster. Boomba was found in a window well. Teeny Weenie was found in a bush. And Teeny Weenie's mom, Bun, is a community cat. Doesn't Teeny Weenie look a lot like her mom? I think they look very similar. Without our help, community cats will have lots of kittens, especially during kitten season, when the weather is warm and the sun is shining. These kittens can become separated from their moms when well-meaning people pick them up and take them inside. That's why during the spring and summer, I've always got my hands full. I foster the kittens who end up at my local animal shelter, a place that helps lost and homeless animals. When foster parents lend a hand, kitten season is a much happier and safer time for our fuzzy friends. Look at that. There's a little kitten bouquet. Instead of holding flowers, I'm holding a handful of kittens. And you can see there are just so many kittens during kitten season. Tidbit was a newborn kitten found outside all alone at just 1 day old. When I took him in, he was so small that he fit in the palm of my hand. Before long, tiny Tidbit blossomed into the cutest little prince. Now that he's adopted, he's the king of the castle. What an incredible transformation. But it's not magic. Tidbit just needed lots of hands-on love and care to help him grow. So check it out. There's little baby Tidbit, and he goes from a baby to an adoptable kitten to an adult cat. From this to this to this. He sure grew up really handsome. Okay. Newborn kittens aren't just tiny, they're also totally defenseless. Born with their eyes closed and their ears folded, these little wiggle worms are called neonatal kittens, and they need the most help of all. This is one of my favorite pages, the anatomy of a neonatal kitten. So you can see here, we have baby Badger with his cute little paper hat, and you can see what he looks like. He has tiny cub ears. His eyes are closed. He has closed eyes. He has a boop-worthy nose. Anybody know what that means? When you boop a cat on the nose, you go like this. Boop! You just touch their nose and say, boop. Maybe if you have a cat near you, you can give them a gentle boop too. They have a kissable tummy with an umbilical cord. Do you see that little brown strip that's coming off his belly? That's his umbilical cord that helped attach him to his mommy. And they have non-retractable claws. Their claws are always out when they're a baby. And most importantly, jelly bean twinkle toes. These little peanuts start to look more like real cats when they open their eyes, from 8 to 12 days old. Kittens have blurry vision as babies, but when they get older, they start to be able to see clearly. No matter how their vision is, when kittens open their eyes, I want them to see that the world is a safe place to be a baby cat. When Mac was first peeking his eyes open, he looked pretty silly, but soon he had big, beautiful baby blues. So you can see on the left, that's Mac's sneak peek. His eyes are just starting to open up and he looks a little funny. What do you think? But then a couple days later, his eyes are gonna open up beautifully and he's gonna have beautiful baby blue eyes, like in the picture on the right. Okay. Tiny kittens can't regulate their own body temperatures, and they need help staying warm when they have no mom to cuddle them. That's why you'll find my kittens snuggling up on a heating pad in a bed of warm blankets. Cozy kittens will start gently purring as a sign of comfort. Do you guys know how to purr? You go like this. That's what it sounds like when a kitten is really happy. Sprout loves cuddling with a fluffy stuffed animal. Just don't tell her that her mom is actually a dog. Shh. If you look at the picture, you can see that Sprout is cuddling a stuffed animal, but the stuffed animal is a dog. It's so silly. I wonder if we can get Jimmy to do some purring. Do you want to do some purrs? He'll do some purrs into the microphone later. Okay. Young orphan kittens are bottle babies, and they have huge appetites. I feed them every few hours, anywhere from 6 to 12 times a day, even in the middle of the night. When kittens drink from a bottle, their ears will often wiggle with happiness. Kittens have sensitive tummies and can't digest the milk that many people keep in the refrigerator at home. When a kitten is orphaned, they drink a milk substitute, a special formula made just for kittens that has all the nutrients they need to grow into big, strong cats. And right there you can see that's baby Numpkin, and he is drinking from a bottle. And here we have, with our little milk mustache, that's baby Bear Claw, and his ears are wiggling with joy. Believe it or not, kittens and cats are very clean animals. They just need to learn how to groom themselves. I brush the kittens with a soft toothbrush, which reminds them of a mother's rough tongue, and it helps them learn how to lick themselves and stay squeaky clean. Boomba and Hank love the comforting feeling of getting brushed. Boomba loves being pampered. You can see his little face is so happy in that picture. And Hank is looking fresh. A full belly and a toothbrush massage can make a kitten sleepy. You've probably heard of a cat nap, but have you ever seen a kitten nap? These little snuggle dumplings are champions of snoozing, and they'll sleep up to 22 hours a day. Oh my gosh. Can you sleep 22 hours a day? I don't think I could. They need lots of rest to support their growth and development. Growing up is exhausting. These little guys really do sleep so much. I don't know if you can see, but Nigel fell asleep while I'm reading. I don't know if that means that it's a really good book or a really boring book. Hopefully he's just a sleepy kitten. I think everybody's taking a little nap, but we'll be playing with them a little later, so they're going to need their rest. All that dozing pays off. Young kittens gain about 1 pound every single month. I place my foster kittens on a small scale to monitor their weight. It's so fun to see them gain weight as they transform from tiny nuggets into mighty mini cats. Weighing kittens helps me make sure they're eating right and staying healthy. Hank is a burrito on the scale. I wrapped her in a little blanket, and you can see that she is getting weighed on the little tiny scale. And here's what the growth of a young kitten looks like. Newborns are as light as a feather. 1 month, they're 1 pound. And 2 months, they're about 2 pounds. They really do grow up so fast. Don't they, Jimmy? That kind of looks like you, Jimmy. Jimmy is not quite 2 months. He's between 1 month and 2 months. So he's between 1 pound and 2 pounds. I also keep kittens healthy by bringing them to a special doctor called a veterinarian to get preventative shots and medicine that prepare them for a long and healthy life. The veterinarian's office is usually a kitten's first field trip. There's Kodiak. She's being a brave girl at the vet. Jimmy, you're the only one who's awake right now. If you thought bottle feeding was messy, just wait until you see a kitten who is weaning onto solid food. Kittens become curious about meat around 4 to 5 weeks old, so I help them slowly transition from nursing or bottle feeding to eating on their own. When kittens are first learning how to eat wet kitten food, it's a sloppy adventure. Sometimes more of it gets on their faces than in their mouths. Margot hasn't quite figured out if the food is eaten through your mouth or through your foot. After she eats, she sometimes leaves a trail of meaty paw prints behind her. Oh, what a mess. She'll figure it out soon. Kittens always do. Check out these little kittens in the pictures. There's baby Badger, and he has food all over his face. So silly. Barnaby has a bunch of food on his face too. I would call that like a meat mustache or beard or both. And then look at Margot. Oh my gosh, she's got her foot in the dish and she's saying, "Do I have something on my face?" As kittens begin weaning onto meaty foods, their hunting instinct starts to kick in. All felines like lions, tigers, leopards, and even house cats are mighty predators who have a natural urge to hunt their prey. But unlike their wild cat relatives who roam freely on the savannah or in the jungle, house cats are our indoor companions, and their hunting takes the form of playtime. I spend lots of time playing with my kittens so they can practice their pounce. When these little micropanthers see a toy, they wiggle their butts, leap into the air, and attack. We'll probably get to see that in a little bit when they're playing. Look at baby Badger. That feather toy doesn't stand a chance. He is a mighty hunter. Kittens are hilariously awkward while learning how to hunt and play like a cat. When they see a new toy for the first time, they sometimes arch their backs, hop sideways, or poof out their fluffy tails to show how big and intimidating they are. It's so entertaining to see them make funny movements when they're surprised. Tidbit has fallen over because he was so excited and confused about a toy. He's saying, "Eep, you frightened me." Kittens also have instincts to climb, perch, and hide. While their wildcat relatives can be found lounging in trees and hiding in tall grasses, our feline companions only have the environment that we create for them in our homes. These kitties need lots of environmental enrichment to help them stay happy and healthy in an indoor setting by allowing them to express their natural instincts. So here's some of their favorite things. Small Fry loves tunnels, and Pigeon loves to climb. Finn's favorite place is the very top of the cat tree, where he can look down and oversee everything from a bird's eye view. You can see I have some enrichment items in here for my kittens, including little hideaways, toys, and lots of different things they can interact with. And at the end of this book, we're going to give them even more toys and activities. Of course, the best way to keep kittens happy is for them to have a friend. Just like you and me, kittens love having a buddy to play with. Having a companion helps them feel confident and endlessly entertained. There's nothing quite as special as feline friendship. Fritter and Jelly have been best friends since the day they were born. They are a bonded pair, which means they'll always stay together, even when they're adopted. They're friends forever. And they are eating a little picnic lunch there. So all of the kittens on these pages are bonded pairs. They're brother and sister. The little gray ones are brother and sister, Margot and Barnaby. And then we have brother and brother, that's Bud and Twig. And then sister and brother, Fritter and Jelly. Once they're healthy and at least 8 weeks old, the kittens are ready to say hello to their future family and forever home, where they'll stay for their whole lives. People who are looking for a new companion or two can apply to adopt kittens just like mine through their local animal shelter or rescue group. If they are a good fit and they're ready for the commitment and responsibility of caring for a pet, they can meet the kittens and bring them home. It's so exciting to help kittens find their perfect match. These kittens are saying, "Thanks for saving us." When it's time to say goodbye to my foster kittens, I have a lot of different emotions. I might feel a little sad to part ways, but I mostly feel very proud of them for graduating from foster care. Adoption Day is a celebration. Fostering helps kittens go from tiny and helpless to big and strong. By dedicating a few weeks of my time to helping them grow, anyone can help make a big difference for little kittens. After the kittens get adopted, I feel so happy knowing that I saved their lives. And my home isn't empty for long, because there are always more kittens waiting to be saved. That is the truth, you guys. There are always more kittens waiting to be saved. Here's just a couple of my kittens. Look at this collage. So much fun and joy in saving kittens' lives. I hope that you guys learned a lot in this book. There's even more in the back. If you have the book at home, there's a glossary with some of the words that you learned during the reading. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And now I'm going to bring it back to just kitten time. So thank you guys for following along with my book, Kitten Lady's Big Book of Little Kittens. One of the things we talked about in the book was enrichment. And enrichment is the idea of giving your indoor cat, whether that's a little foster kitten or a cat that you have at home, it's the idea of giving them fun activities to do. So what are some enrichment activities that you do at home? Tell me in the comments, what are some of your enrichment activities that you do for your cat at home? While you're telling me, I'm going to bring out some fun, exciting enrichment that we can do with these kittens. Let's see what we have. So this is something that we saw in the book. Remember Small Fry loved her little tunnel? Well, I got a tunnel for us to introduce to the kittens that I have here. And they've never seen a tunnel before, so it'll be exciting to see what they think. That is, once they wake up from their nap, because right now, they're all sleeping. We learned about that in the book too. Kittens sure can sleep a lot, and we don't want to bother them. We're just gonna let them sleep while I open up this very exciting tunnel toy. And I'm gonna read some of your enrichment ideas for your cats. Let's see. What do you guys do for enrichment for your cats? You throw treats across the room for hunting. That's a great one, Christina. Let's see, who else? String toys, Beth says. Yeah, as long as you are supervising a kitten, you can use some of the toys. I actually have a rope toy that we'll introduce. What else, you guys? What other enrichment do you do with your cats? My cat likes to hunt bugs. Oh boy. Let's see. Let them run around with toys. Caitlin says, my cat loves the brown packing paper from packages. These guys love that too. Every time I get a delivery in the mail, I take out the brown paper and I give it to them and they just love it. All right, so there's our tunnel. Jimmy, you're awake. Do you want to check out the tunnel? Check it out, Jimbo. What's that? That's a new exciting thing. Okay. Let's see. Chase, hide and seek, roll a ball back and forth. I love all of your enrichment ideas for cats. Oh my gosh, Jimmy went into the tunnel. Well, bye, Jimmy. Anybody else want to check it out? What do you think, Debbie? She's like, I think I'm gonna maybe take a nap. I don't know. Debbie, look. What is that? That's a new thing. These guys actually are just hanging out back here. Here's Clem. Clem, look, we got a tunnel. Okay, so while these guys are checking out their tunnel and they're waking up from their naps, I'm going to start taking some questions. So if you have a question about something that I read in the book, I will be answering questions, and I encourage you to ask a question if you're a kid or if you're a parent who's typing a question for a kid. Let me know what your questions are. And while we're taking questions, I'm going to bring out another enrichment item. This is a new toy they've never seen before. This is called a wand toy. And this particular wand toy, if I can get it open, is a rainbow rope. I love rainbow ropes and other wand toys like this because you can really interact with the cats. And it kind of mimics a prey item. Remember, we learned that kittens have an instinct to hunt their prey. Now, these guys are a little young. They've not really played with a rope toy before. But maybe we can get them interested. Or maybe Debbie's just going to take a nap in my lap. Either one. I can't really say. This is the thing about kittens, is they really only have two modes. Either they're going to be playful, or they are going to be sleepy. Seems like most of these guys are sleepy right now, but maybe they'll become playful. Okay, let's take a couple questions. Let's see. Everybody's still sharing their enrichment ideas. I love that. Okay. You guys, I would love if we can have some questions in here. There's so many people sharing a lot of excited comments, but it's making it a little hard for me to see some of your questions. Okay, here's a question from Emerson. How do you choose kittens' names? That's a really good question, Emerson. So I have a lot of kittens. As I said in the book, I've saved hundreds of kittens, which means I've named hundreds of kittens. And I've got a couple of them in my lap right now, huh? Everybody just wants to be in my lap. So I love naming my babies, and I always try to come up with something that's like a theme. So maybe the theme will be breakfast, and then you can name them pancake, waffle, toast, scramble. You could give them all breakfast-related names. Or maybe I'll name all of my kittens after different seasons, and then you could name one summer and you can name one winter. There's lots of different themes that you can think about. Sometimes if my kittens come from a really interesting place, like maybe they came from a they came from a flower bed. Then I'll name them after different kinds of flowers because they came from a flower bed. So you can really get creative when you're naming kittens, and I have a really fun time with that. These kittens, you might have noticed, they all have human-sounding names, right? So this is Chris, maybe there's somebody watching who's named Chris. This is Clem. Clem and Jimmy are in the tube. I don't know if you can see them in there. Turn it for you. They're playing in the tube. Jimmy, Clem, Nigel, Chris, and Debbie are all named after members of a band called Blondie. So we just gave them band names. They're like cool rock and roll kitties. Great question. Okay, let's see if we have some other questions. Great question, Avery. Avery's asking, how can I convince my parents to let me get a cat or foster a kitten or cat? Well, you definitely need your parents' permission if you're going to be getting a cat or fostering a kitten, but it's something that I think is great for families to do together, especially at a time right now when a lot of us are staying inside and we are spending a lot of time at home. There's never been a better time to get a new animal companion. I don't know what I would do being inside without all of my kittens to play with and my cats to cuddle. So if your family is interested in fostering or adopting, now is definitely a good time. The thing that I would say about convincing your family to foster is suggest doing a trial period over the summer. During the summer, school is out and you might have a little bit of extra time to lend a hand with things like scooping the litter box or opening food and putting food out for the kittens. And you can, foster kittens who are a little bit older, kittens like these guys. They don't need a bottle at all. These ones all eat on their own. So you can try fostering some older kittens or a mom with babies and just try doing it once over the summer. You definitely can do this as a family, and I think it's a wonderful family activity. And like I said, right now, animal shelters really need our help. So it's a very good time to call your animal shelter and say, hey, I think that we're interested in fostering, and they will be so happy to hear from you. In terms of getting your own cat, I think every house should have a cat, or honestly, I think every house should have 2 cats because they really do best in pairs. But that's something that you want to do only when you're really ready and when you're really committed. So I think that's a big decision to make, and it's a good thing to listen to your parents about when that's the right time. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. Wow, you guys have a lot of questions. Let's see. Where do you find most of your rescued kittens? Well, I find most of my rescue kittens either outside. People find them outside and bring them to me, or they, Clem is so cute, or I get them from the animal shelter. The animal shelter is where kittens go when they are lost and someone finds them, or if somebody has a cat at home and they need somewhere for them to go, they'll bring them to an animal shelter. So an animal shelter is kind of a building where lots of cats and kittens end up, and then that organization relies on me and you to go there and help by adopting or by fostering. And so I go to the animal shelter and I let them know, if you have any kittens that need to be fostered, I can bring them home and I can raise them until they're old enough to be adopted, which is 8 weeks. Like I said, these guys are 6 weeks old, so they are not old enough to be adopted yet. So pretty much they just hang out here and grow nice and big, and I play with them and I feed them and I just make sure they're healthy. And then once they're 8 weeks old, they can go to their home. Okay. How do you teach them to use a litter box? That's a great question. So their litter box is right over there. Okay, guys. Their litter box is right over there, and I have it over there because that's the corner. I always put their litter box in a corner because kittens, they want to use the litter box naturally, but they like to use it when it's, in a corner in a very shallow box, something that's easy for them to walk into. And once you give them something that's easy to walk into with litter that's safe for kittens, and you put it in a corner, kittens will usually basically train themselves. You can encourage them when they use it. You can say, good job, and let them know that they did a good job. Of course, you also want to keep your litter box clean because, like I said, kittens are very clean. They want to go to the bathroom somewhere where they can cover it up and make it smell very nice and clean where they are. So if you don't scoop the litter box, ew, that is yucky. We want to make sure that the litter box is nice and clean so that our kittens want to use it and learn how to use it properly. How many cats do you have personally? I have 3 cats of my own, and my cats are not the biggest fans of kittens. So that's okay. If you have cats at home, you can still foster. You just want to keep them separate. These little guys, you know, they can be a little bit sick sometimes when they come to you, and we don't want them to get anybody else sick. So I keep them separate while they're getting healthy. And then my cats have their own place that they can hang out. And you can see right now, I'm inside a playpen. So this is like plastic panels, and they all snap together. And I have made them their own little room inside my room. So this is my bedroom where we are right now. And my kittens are inside my bedroom in a little playpen. My cats are just on the other side of the playpen, but it gives them the ability to avoid the kittens, which they're very grateful for. Okay. How can you tell the gender of a kitten? I have a video about that. So if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, you can click my name, Kitten Lady, and then you can go look at all of my videos. You just click where it says videos, and then there's a ton of videos of kittens being rescued and instructional videos. And I have a video that is all about how to tell if a kitten is male or female. So you can watch that. Okay, I'll just take a few more questions and then we'll give everybody a chance to go have some lunch or do whatever else you are doing. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you guys for your patience while I scroll through and make sure I'm reading to find a great question. Dun, 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 dun. You guys are really fun. Is it okay to put a harness on an adult cat and take her outside? Yeah, I do that with my cats. You want to do that really carefully, though. You don't want to just put a harness on them and take them outside all at once, because that's pretty scary if it's their first time outside or if it's their first time wearing a harness. So I did harness train my cats, but the way that I did that is by associating the harness with good things. So you can just, show them the harness and give them a treat, or put the harness on them for 1 minute and feed them or give them a treat so that they know that it's a positive thing and that you'll take it back off. Once they're used to the harness, then you can practice, carrying them outside for 30 seconds and then bringing them back in, and gradually you get them used to the idea of being on a harness outside. But my cats absolutely love it. Are you interested in this? Are you suddenly interested in this? We have a playful kitten all of a sudden? Did you guys see that? This is a new toy for them, so they've never seen a rainbow rope. I don't think they really know what to do, but Debbie seems interested in it. So you guys, if you are at home, I have a video all about how to make toys for your cats out of things that you probably have at home right now. So another fun activity you could do today, if you're wanting something fun to do with your cat at home, is you can watch my video called 5 DIY cat toys that kids can make. And you don't have to be a kid to make them. You can be an adult, a kid, anybody can make them. But it'll show you even how to make your own at home cat toy like this, and then you can play with your cats and they'll be so happy. Okay, let's take just one last question. Let's find a really good one. Okay. How old do cats have to be to eat meat? That is a great question. So, when I have kittens who are very, very young, they will drink from a bottle. These guys were all bottle babies, which means that they ate kitten formula for the first couple weeks of their life. Around 5 weeks old, I will give them the opportunity to start trying to eat some meat, and they get very excited about it once they're 5 weeks old. If you try to give them meat when they're younger than 5 weeks old, they either don't understand it or they might get sick. So 5 weeks is a good age to start teaching them about that. So thank you guys so very much for joining.
Did you see the super chats?
No.
People donated a bunch of money.
Oh, well, I'm still, hang on. I don't see, are there questions?
Victoria Brown donated
Oh. Victoria Brown, thank you very much. I see that there are some super chats in here, so thank you very much. And Cat Mom Kelly, thanks for all that you do. I have 4 cats at home. Thank you, Cat Mom Kelly. This is such a nice time for all of us to be able to get together and just enjoy the magic of kittens and enjoy reading a book. And I'd love to know if you guys enjoyed doing this. Is this something that you would like to do again in the future? Because if so, I have my other book, has lots of fun stories in it that I could read, and maybe we could make it a weekly thing. Like every Friday for half an hour, we can all come together and enjoy learning about kittens. Let me know in the chat if you think that that's something that we ought to do. Thank you, Polly. I appreciate all of you guys so very much. I hope everybody is staying safe, and I hope everybody is feeling good and happy and positive in your home. Remember that this is a great time to foster. If you haven't fostered yet, what a good time to start. You can learn everything that you need to know about fostering in my book, Tiny But Mighty, but right now you're already on my YouTube channel. I have so many videos that you can put on right after this one. You can learn how to take care of kittens, and then call your shelter and tell them, you know what, I think I'd like to foster kittens. If you're gonna be at home, there's not a more joyful thing you can do and a more impactful way to spend your time. So I love these little guys. I'm gonna bring them up there real close to the camera so that you guys can get a look at them, and then we will all part ways. But let me know if you wanna do this again. Okay, here we are. So we have Nigel and Clem and Miss Debbie. Oh my gosh, Clem is in my lap. And Chris. And Jimmy has been in the tube this whole time. Good job, Jimmy. Okay, thank you guys for joining. And I am just gonna do some last little playing with my kittens. And I hope that you guys had fun. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.